Gonna make the profiles boom, boom, boom. I said boom, boom, boom. It's what it is. You already know what it is right here on Gunner's Profiles. Today we're gonna get into it. We're gonna do what we does, cuz in the meantime, in between time, what I'm talking about here today is realness. A real story that I went through, actual factual business, things that happen, no added preservatives. Now check it out. You can see that thumbnail right there. You see a wedding bird, you see the Merced City. Man, ain't nothing pretty, right? In real life, at one point in time, I was in the mix. For those of you that don't know or don't want to believe it, Spencer Natira, that's up to you, Holmes. Guard! Let them know. I don't boast or brag or elaborate or try to put some shine on the character I once was and with the mix that I was once in. It's going to continue forever forward. That struggle is always going to be real, with or without me. I was just a pawn on the chessboard, homeboy, and when I got knocked off, I'm out. I'm done. Vamuski, see you laters, alligators, right? It's just is what it is. That's part of life. That's part of the game. It's not built for everyone. I'm built for tough. Don't get me twisted. But at the same time, I'm optimistic enough to know that I have to push on and move on in my life. But at one point in time, oh yes, right? I was in the mix. Baker's dozen, right? Mix them up. Now, I had got out of YA. I was 18 years old, Mongolian on tongue pulling. It was whipping, right? But I wasn't tripping. One thing that I got out with was a mentality that all Norteños were Norteños. There was something greater and bigger than our individual selves, our barrios, our neighborhoods. Now, I understand on the streets, the gang mentality is your neighborhood. You're proud of where you come from. You're proud of your gente, your people. But up in Northern California, see, it's a little bit different. Not only are Vatos proud of their heritage, their cultura, where they're from, the soil they toiled in, but they're also proud of being a Norteño, being part of that cause, being part of that movement, being part of that militant style of moving aggressively towards one's goal, right? I can sit here and get political, and I could talk about a lot of this, he said, she said, and a lot of this and that, and a lot of stuff that was brought to my plate and how I was educated and indoctrinated on certain things, concepts, rules and regulations, the reglas. But at the end of the day, man, it's not for me to speak on that. That is going to continue to do what it does. Is it in existence? One never knows, does one? The wind's blowing. But what I do know for sure is I was a true and firm believer in what I believed in and how I was taught. So I get out of YA, I remember, and of course, immediately I'm back in the mix. I'm right back to the hood, right back to the audio, chilling with the homeboys. Now, I was pushing a different flavor than what was going on at this particular time. This was 96, 97. At that time, if you're from the city of Merced, Central YA, you already know Merced ain't no punk. We ain't no joke. Right? It's real. People are starting to realize now just how real Merced is. Being a little city situated in the middle of Central Valley, the Central YA, Valleros are different. They just hit different. Like the Spencer. City life, hey, respect, sons. But the Valle, man, calle. You know what I mean? Real talk. Now, so I get out, I'm chilling with the homeboys, I'm right back in the mix. In fact, I'm even in the mix more than anything, but I'm pushing a different agenda. See, having come out of YA, CYA, I learned a lot of things. I learned a lot about, it's not just about me and mines. It's not about my hood and my homeboys only. There's a lot of other voters that I respected, a lot of other gente from north and south that I met that I respected. I said, damn, these voters are with the programa. They're with that activity. They're with the business. Now, this is way before being active was active, and this is way before the activities and the Edgars, and this is before all that. We're talking about late 90s. We're talking about vatos still in the mix, trying to peel your capwords backwards. We're talking about vatos talking about, you see them vatos over there? We don't like them vatos, and we're going to continue not to like them vatos because them vatos are like us. Yes, at some point, but we don't like them. Now, everyone disliked each other, and a lot of cities were going through the red on red stuff. When I say red on red, I mean Norteño versus Norteño. Now, one thing I was taught incarcerated, we needed all the soldados that we had. You're only as strong as your weakest link, man. If a vato was out there acting funny, you get over here, you pull him to the side, hey, homie, trip out. You're reflecting bad on what we got going on here. Well, I'm just trying to, nah, I don't care what you're trying to do. It's not try, it says do, right? So people would get at you. So I learned a lot and enough to know that everybody had their own wigglization. Everybody moved differently, whether it be the Bay Area that were a little bit more urbanish, the Central Valle, Tulare County, which were already on suspenders and Ben Davises. Everybody had their stilo, but we were all homeboys. We all had a common goal and a common understanding that we needed each other to move to our purpose and our goal, which was total victory, right? At least at that time, that's what we were trying to achieve. And along the way, if you got in our way, well, then you were in our way. And then you're going to get out of our way. right? And that was it. And, and there's going to be a lot of people that disagree and a lot of people that say, well, at the end, Juventus came up short or no, ain't nothing done. Ain't nothing ever going to be done, right? Everyone's going to continue to do what they do. But as a grown man, as an older gentleman now, don't just because I look like this, it's called Just for Men. I will tell you this. I know what was going on back then. Can no one tell me any difference? Now, I understand, I'm of the understanding once you're younger and you're in the mix and you get older and you go to prison and you do what you does at a higher level, none of that small change don't count to dollar bills, y'all, right? Change don't count to big bills. But at the end, you had to have change to turn 4 quarters into a dollar. That's just facts, right? So I understood that you start out small and achieve by your own merits and by the contents of your character, how you wiggle, how you gain respect, the work you put in, your mindset. You know what? It takes an intelligent vato to know all these things. And not just a good mouthpiece, but a good brain piece. In fact, in factual and actual. So let's trip out on this. I get out and I'm pushing that agenda. I'm telling the homeboys, hey, we're all the same. We're all the same. I'm talking about Nortenos. I'm like, hey, just because they're from the north side, we're from the wiggity, right? The west. Something, don't tell nobody. Just because we're from that side, we feel superior to their inferiority. We feel like they ain't on our level because our vatos might have been around longer or we might have done it a certain way. But them vatos are about their business. Them vatos are with the stuff. And when they get incarcerated, homes, it's a hands-off policy. They are the homeboys, no matter what you think or what you think, right? Real talk, they are homies just like anyone else. So that was my philosophy. I got out with the Norteños or Norteño philosophy, whereas the homeboys on the guys that have been wiggling out there were still in guerra. They were still in the point of process where it's like, nah, forget them fools. I don't care what you say, homie. Them vaults right there. They don't scratch the homeboy. And when they come with the homeboy, we got to get with their homeboy. And then they're going to get with our homeboy. And then we're going to get with their homeboy. And in the middle of all this, we're eradicating each other, which is when we get incarcerated, we're going to have no more gente on the yarda. I'm just saying, though, right? That's my mentality. That's the way I was gamed up. So I would get at homeboys a certain way. If they weren't feeling it, they weren't feeling it. I wasn't pressing my opinions on no one. I was merely giving clecha. It's called giving game to the homies. And some homeboys were susceptible to it. They were like, that's right, homeboy. At the end, there's a greater cause than just us. I said, yeah, our barrio is our barrio primera, right? But you need to understand there's something bigger going on that you can't foresee. And I'm telling you right now, you're going to find yourself in a sticky situation where you get incarcerated and that same vault that you're going in on is going to back your play. How do you say it? Case in point, right? American Me, I think that vato there is from 18th Street. Nah, mira, there's no La Primera 18, there's none of that. We come together for power, right? And there's the same thing up north. We came together for power. Or not even power, we came together to survive. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes you wonder how you keep from going under. Behind them walls is different. You need every last spoke on that Dayton humps or that motherfucker's going to get a flat tire. Now, we get out. And the story goes like this. We're posted up, we're kicking back, and we decide to go to the big old Merced Mall, which is a little mall. We got a little mall in the town. We ain't doing too much, right? But just enough. I wanted an Orange Julius that day. So as we go, there used to be a store called Work World. That's where they saw the fly bands, the 501s, the Carhartts, beanies, all that, right? So we wanted to go over there and get some Band Davids, just a few homeboys shopping. Between us, we probably had $50, but you know what I mean? Whatever we can snag. So we go and we walk in, there's 5 of us. And I remember there's a homeboy there that was a little loose cannon, okay? He's still in the mix as we speak. I ain't going to speak his name because he's still doing his thing. But let's just say he was a loose cannon. He was the type of homeboy, give me that cuete. Let me unchamber it, take everything out. Because he'll shoot first and ask questions later and put everybody in jail, Will he say something? No, I ain't going to tell on no one, but we're all going to be there like, damn, what the shit is up by? At least I don't got no money, right? Like I said, we're broke. But we're all in the store. And so at this particular time, Dead End, which is the vaudeville I, was affiliated with, was going at it with other vaudevilles like RBL, LBL, certain gangs, out of Merced, the north side of Merced. Now, this particular time, we're posted over, kicking, we're having a good time. We're not even tripping off running into anyone because we thought we were better than anyone else. We thought if anyone ran up, they was going to get done up. And that was our mentality, having to be from Dead End, the deepest water at that time in Merced. It was like, we're untouchable, can't no one touch us. Now, vatos, everyone can be touched, right? So these vatos, the homeboys I'm with, we ain't paying it no never mind. Our awareness ain't down, but it ain't really up. I'm just trying to give me some 501s and an Orange Julius. Throw a banana in it. It tastes good like that. Blend it. And we see this chick. And when this chick walks in, she's a homegirl from the west side of the area that we're from. But at the same time, we know her old man is from the north side, right? And that's how it was. It was a trip. All the west side chicks messed with the north side homeboys. All the north side chicks married the west side homeboys. I don't know. We were already done. Tatiradas. Go over there. We'll take your pirujas. And that was part of the game. Or that's the way it worked out in my city. If you could identify, let me know in the comments. But so she walks in. I'm like, hey, what's up with your old man? Automatically, because I know her old man had gotten into some pleito with one of my homeboys, and we was looking for him. I mean, we wasn't aggressively looking for him, but if we ran into him, it was going to be party time. That's it. She was like, she seen us and she was shocked. She was like, oh, what are you guys doing here? And before we could say anything, her old man hits the corner. Now, of course, as soon as her old man hits the corner, my aggressive homeboy, the one that's with the wigglization on the swivelization, right? He says, bing, da, ba. I see the about to win our town, and I know I'm going to put him down. I said, all right, calm down. Calm down, killer. I said, hey, what's up, bro? What are you doing in our mall? He's like, hey, I said, the mall's on the north side. I said, listen, the wind's blowing. You know what I mean? And look, and this was the mentality. We're deeper. He's one. Mine was always, at the end of the day, he's a Norteno. That was always my method. Give him a chance. Give him the power, I beg of you. Let him go on and do his thing, man. We're not going to jump no one. We're not going to plaquear no one. We're not going to beat up on someone that it's unfair and it makes us unbecoming in the gang realm, you know? Yeah, you can jump on someone, or there's people like, I don't care, man. Anyone could get it. He got caught lacking. Okay, yeah, that mentality is cool. But a real G's mentality is, hey, homie, head up to your fed up. Now, that's hard, right? We can do the one-on-one, catch the fade or whatever, because we're feeling some type of way. He wasn't. Obviously, he was like, man, so I'm not to eat up, right? So we kind of move up out of the store, and he's kind of backing up like, well, what's up? He's holding his ground, though, as a Norteño should. I can't belittle this guy or say that he was a punk or he was running. There have been instances where people did that, even on my side, but I will say he was holding his stance, and then 4 or 5 more of his homeboys walked up. Oh, how it hurts. Now the game changed. And I could see as his homeboys are rocking up, my boys are like, what's up? And people are starting to wolf on both sides. It's about to get ugly, you know what I mean? We ain't going against the gods. And so I decided to be the spokesman, not the leader, because I wasn't no leader or shot caller when it came to my homeboys. We all had an equal vote, and survey says, get them, right? But I said, I see about his name's Zeke and Pegleg. They were brothers at this time from RBL. This was the RBL group. And I seen a Vato from the Rebels that I knew that I had done time with. That was a real one, is Pegleg, right? So I was like, hey, Peg, let me get at you, bro. He's like, oh, what's up, right? Like I said, man, some of the Vatos, we were on talking basis. Some just weren't. Some were on shooting basis. So I got at him, I'm like, what's up, bro? And I was like, you guys want to do this? Or can we take it outside to the parking lot so that way we can wiggle? Because we're not trying to get caught up by the cops. I had just got out of Hawaii. I'm talking about 2 months out, right? He's like, look, bro, I mean, we ain't no punks, bro. We're going to do our thing. And I said, no. And I don't believe so. I don't believe you are, sir, right? But I'm willing to prevent a melee and something that's going to happen that's only going to get us all incarcerated, going to get us all jacked. A lot of homeboys, man, have done time in prison, have done time in YA. You know, our records are not the cleanest records in the world. It's going to be an ugly situation. And he understood what I was saying. I said, at the end of the day, you know, Humps, when we were rocking in the compa together in Preston, Humps, it was all about the Norteño movement. It had nothing to do with gangs and hoods, bro. He was like, yeah, but this is the streets. I said, okay, well, if that's your mentality, we could take it to the streets. You know what I mean? I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to prevent something from going on. And that's what I've always tried to do. See, I'm a firm believer is if you could talk it out, just like on a prison yard, if you can get rid of all the drama and you can, as a man, respectfully talk it out, you know, if the fade has to be taken, take the fade. That's facts. Pull up and pull, or, you know, pull up and show up. I was about to say pull up and pull out, but that's why I got kids. I don't. But, you know, if you pull up and handle your business and want to catch that one-on-one fade, it is what it is. Even if it's a 4-on-4, 5-on-5 melee, we could do that too. But at the end of the day, what's going to happen? People, innocent bystanders are already looking at us. They're going to call the cops. Was I breaking it down on no type of level? I was telling them we could go outside with this. We just don't need to do it right here because see my homeboy right there? That guy will chop you down. Going to a whopper. You know what I mean? Chop, chop. The clapper. And the Vato was like, look, I said, you already know what it is, bro. You know, just like I know, there's something bigger and better than all of us. And it means something. He goes, you're absolutely right. So he got at his gente. I got at my people. My boys were like, hell no, we won't go. Right? Let's tear him up. Eventually, they took off and it was all good. Now, I tell this story because there was so many instances where there was a lot of red on red and Vatos didn't get a chance. There's no coming back from where they went. And it's an ugly situation. And I found out even deeper in later on in life, the same homeboys that I rocked with, that I was willing to go to the dirt with, some of them guys turned their back on me and weren't willing to participate in certain functions, certain actions, whereas these other guys that I was about to get off with later on in life did with me, you know, incarcerated. And so you never know, man, who's going to back your play and who isn't. It always seems like the ones closest to you are the ones that are in your pockets trying to get you and trying to get a mamon from your lady. If you don't know that by now, then you just don't know. Now, I'm not trying to deter you from the gang life. If that's what you choose to do as a young brown man, sprinkle the woods in, brother, because they get down too. And the brothers, man, that's your thing. I did it. You know, I was with it. But I do know, and common sense told me, that there was no reason for us to put ourselves on Front Street and get incarcerated and mess up what we had going on. You know, because we had a lot going on back then, just to look cool and act tough. You know, eventually, over time, about a year later, there was a law that was put out there concerning the Norteno business. And, you know, there was no more red on red. And, of course, everybody was all cool now. And a lot of the videos, you'll see them now in music rap videos together. Whereas, well, at one point, that would have never happened. Now, I was around when a lot of these little videos started. One thing about Mercedes, we have the deep old school videos like VMR, Body Merced Rifa, the Posse, Westside Merced, 14ers, all that. But hey, when all these other groups started coming out, My Water and other videos, in fact, they came out right around the same time or after us, I was there. So I knew a lot of these guys. I went to school with them. They was brothers of mine, man. They was homeboys, some primos. And a lot of the vatos, you know, we chose to hate each other, not because a personal issue, but we chose to hate each other because my homeboy didn't like your homeboy, or your old lady slept with my homeboy. Hey, check me out. Here, the wind's blowing. I'm going to tell you guys the truth. I boned all your ladies. Let's just say that. Before they were your hyenas, I done did it, right? Spencer, be mad at me if you want, but it is what it is. There's vatos right now, youngsters asking their mom, did Gunner really bone you? Yes, I did. Yes, I did, mijo. I did that. Anyway, so, at the end of the day, man, we were able to bypass that, and it could have got sticky and ugly. Now, there's other stories I could tell you about these two groups, my group and that other audio, man, and where we really, you know what I mean, there was no bypassing nothing. But I felt very strong that day. I felt like I gained some leadership qualities by ending what could have been ugly, you know, because ultimately what's going to happen, we were yapped up, you know what I mean, allegedly. It could have got ugly fast, and I'm sure that they were as well. You know, I could have lost my life, Vato could have lost his life, and we were talking about people that I went to school. I knew every one of these Vatos. One back there, remember I used to be like, can you help me with my homework? We're little kids, can you help me with my homework? Because I can't read nor write. Yeah, but he could sure gangbang and fight, huh? One never knows, does one? At the end of the day, we were able to bypass that, man, and Norteños were Norteños, and they continued that struggle. Some are still in good standing, some are not. Some have went down the yellow brick road, some are still right there in the casa. Hey, one never knows, does one, but at the end of the day, I respect each and every one of them guys that was there because every one of them was in their stance, ready to be warriors for what they truly believed in. But there was something that was bigger than us, and that was the Norte, and I made sure that everybody knew that. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. I hope you enjoyed the story because it was a factual, actual story. It really happened. Hey, look, and trip out. And this hyena the whole time, she's like, you guys ain't going to do nothing. What's up, fool? I was like, girl, you don't remember when you was shut up, right? Stop it. Anyways, come mess with your boy one time. Gunners Profiles, you know we get it in on Gunners Collective as well, man. At the end of the day, it's all about struggling and striving for your familia and doing what you do. Move smooth with a purpose. That's called hustling, man. If you like this, hit that like and subscribe with a thumbs open and up. If not, thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head there. Where's his beanie as I put it down? You know, the crown. And I'm going to do what I do. And that's bring all people together and show love for everyone. And I'm going to continue that struggle. Now, that's real. The gun. Bang, bang.